Smoke in my eyes, dirt in my hair, cinders in my shoes. I'm watching the needle falling away and singing the 8th grade blues.
Hello and welcome back to Vintage Engines of Derbyshire. I was going to make this a photograph video, but it's too good not to. I mean, the kit that's here, from the Formula cars to the vintage racers, single seat racers, it's absolutely mind-boggling. Lightweight special to the big MG rally cars, Triumphs. These are all well, that's a prototype. I mean, bloody hell. Even got cars from the 1890s in here. It's just amazing. The amount of effort that's been put into this museum is unreal, and is that what I think it is? That is a Mercedes, if I'm right, or it could just be a Benz. It is. You start the engine by grabbing the flywheel and flicking it over. That is awesome. MG, these look like speed cars. Cars designed for speed. That looks like a more... It looks like a 90s car, that you see all inside now. MG, is that a V6, I think? No, sorry, it's a V8. That is lovely. Got another one. Let's have a look through here. The gallery. I like how it's dead quiet in here, but in here is where all the engineering marvels happen. All the prototype shells. I think they're wind tunnel testing. That's nice. It's like 3rd scale. Made out of wood. You got all the art on the walls. Porsches, Ferraris. It's absolutely amazing. Oh, what's this? It's a guy with one arm. Tim Potts. I would assume he's a racer. Some Jaguars. That's nice. A Bentley. Porsches on the wall. Let's have a look in here. Automobilia. Oh wow. All little castings. Vintage horns. Lamps. Carbide lamps. This is just absolutely insane. Oh, drawing board. Imagine how many designs must have been drawn on that. Prototypes. That is awesome.
And what baby kitty likes?
Not normally a fan of just car stuff. Oh, quarter scale model. That's nice. What models do we have here? Oh wow. That looks like something you get in your Barbie playset, that. All different types of presses. Oh, we've got some model cars now. Scale electrics. Loads of different models in there. I spied Chitty Chitty Bang Bang in the corner there. Quite a lot.
Oh, what's that?
Oh.
Wow. Let's see that blue one.
No, I don't see that blue one. Oh, cool.
Yeah, some cool stuff on the back.
You've seen the Northfield tractor. Got some BP lights. A huge Jaguar badge. yeah, I think that's it for in the automobilia section. I'll put you on when they're in the next section. So as we come to this side of the museum, we reach one of my possible favourite sections of this museum. The film section. Everything that's been in a film. So, as you see, we've got Del Boy and Rodney's Robin Reliance. Lovely Ford Anglia, I believe. Yep. And obviously, where would we be without the lovely DMC DeLorean time machine? This one's my favourite. The Ford made for Lady Penelope in Thunderbirds Are Go. This Ford here, I believe, has got a V8 engine inside of it, and was driven by Parker. Well, I've got a bit of paint scuffs happening, sadly. Yeah, these front two wheels are the steering wheels, and then there's two wheels at the back. This is where Parker would see and drive. See all the gauges. I do believe that's Lady Penelope's signature. Obviously she'd sit in the back. Oh, and then we've got some military Land Rovers, I do believe. They're quite nice, and oh my god, what the hell is that? I want one. That looks amazing. Look at all those tracks. That looks fascinating. And we've got a wall of just MGs, I believe. That's nice. Let's have a look what's here. Car. Well, a car. Bloody hell, those wheels don't look comfy. Oh, they've snuck a bicycle in here. A Land Rover bicycle. That's a nice little thing. The Rover 8. I do like that. And I love that starting handle. It's an old bus. Land Rover City Cab. But yeah, there's just absolutely tons upon tons of machines here. Anyway, I shall put you on when there's something interesting. Right, we're back. Yeah, let's start off looking at the tractors. So here we have a lovely Massey 35 3-cylinder diesel that is been beautifully restored and is Michael's. But I do like driving it, it's lovely. Then we have a Massey 135 that looks to be fairly original. Apart from that stupid roll bar, it looks to be all there. And the number plate. A Massey, I think 350, I don't know. We'll go around to the front. Is it 350? Yeah, it's a 350. Massey Ferguson 350. And then we jump straight up to a 390 turbo, which looks amazing. It's got the 4-wheel drive, turboed engine, straight piped exhaust. It sounds amazing when it's running. What do we have here? Fergie diesel, I believe, 4-cylinder diesel. That one is. Now, is this a petrol paraffin? Yes, that is a petrol paraffin Fergie with the Cyclops lights and the side lights. Another petrol paraffin Fergie. That's very similar to mine. I think the only thing different about it is the dipstick. Mine's the flat top dipstick. What else? Steering wheel's different. Oil pressure gauge is the same. Oh, and mine doesn't have that air filter thing. My air filter is just the standard oil bath, but no intake there. It's got the same carb because they were only fitted with Zeniths. This one's got foot plates, which is what I really want to get. Anyway, moving on, we have a Caterpillar under a sheet and another Caterpillar under a sheet. So, let's walk down here. Now this is a truck show, it's Gaydon Classic Truck Show, so it's not tractors and stuff, they're just all the tractors apart from one Nuffield up there. So what do we have here? I'm not as clued up on my lorries as I am tractors, but I'll give it a good shot. This one here is a Morris Fire Brigade for Holland County. I'm just reading stickers at this point. But yeah, C-Reg 999, love the number plate. Let's have a look at what else we got. So I reckon we'll do this row, and then start up at that row, do that row there, work us way back. So here, I think that looks like a Ford from here. Is it? A fix or repair daily. Hazel and Jeffries, Pangbourne. Yeah, that looks lovely, that does. Classic commercials for D series. If you want to pause that and read that, you're more than welcome to. But yeah, that is a lovely, I think that's a 10-ton tipper or a 5-ton, I don't know. What is that? Because that tickles my fancy. I do like the old look of these lorries. What are we? Oh, it's a Fordson. Bloody hell. I wasn't expecting that. I was going to expect Wolseley with the shape of the badge, but not Fordson. That is nice. Comes bitter, so it's a beer wagon. It looks really nice and lovely. Let's have a look in the bed. Spare wheel. Some oil. That is looking lovely, that is. I like the grille. What else do we have? See the interior? Oh, that is lovely. That is nice. You see my mucky face in reflection. Now we move on to something that's... it looks American. I don't know why, but it looks really American. Could just be the fact that it's got a lot of chrome, big air horns, but it does look American, that Bedford does. But it also at the same time looks nice. A Volvo, what is this one, an FH12? Yep, that is absolutely lovely at Stanton's. Is this another Stanton's? A Volvo 6x4. That is lovely. Is that a wrecker? Yeah. That one, I think it might have a Cummins engine in it, I don't know. Then move on to an ERF, what we're more used to, with the Gardner 201 in it. And this one's the Arctic unit. It's got the same gearbox, I believe, as the LV that we've got. Another ERF with the Gardner engine in it. And that does look really nice, that. Another Arctic again. Don't know whether this one's got the David Brown gearbox. I think so. What's this one? A Volvo FM12. See, this seems to be a lot of Volvo. Wherever you look, there's always got to be a Volvo somewhere. An EC11. That one's really nice. I love the blue. There's another ERF somewhere up there that's in the same blue. A Foden. Rolls-Royce diesel. That one looks bloody brilliant, that. An Arctic unit again. Stack pipe on the side. That looks as though it'll pull a house down. What we got here? We've got a Ford again. Is this a Rigid? Yep, Ford Rigid with the living box on the back. S&J Davies. That's nice. Then we've got a Comma van. They were quite common, I believe, in Britain, the Commas. Then we've got a Scania 142. These were the predecessor to the 143s that you hear Boxer Brian singing about all the time. Lovely with a V8 power. Hastings Transport with a lovely Ford Rigid. And another Volvo that looks really bright green. You wouldn't miss this if you parked it in the wrong spot. With all those spot lamps up at the top. Michelin Men. Now if you ever watch Top Gear, this lorry might seem a familiar shape. Because Jezza had one of these and he did something weird with windscreen where he only had about a thin stripe across and he painted it all matte black and he set the trailer on fire. But yeah, Renault Magnum. A really nice vintage Volvo. Again, not clued up on lorries, but I suspect this to be a diesel. It's just a guess. Obviously fifth wheel looks as though it's never been used, never seen grease after its restoration. Spare wheel on the back. The air tanks are there, running 3. You see the gearbox down there and the airlines, the air cleaner. Yeah, that one looks amazing. Meekins is it Meekins Transport? Yeah, Meekins Transport, Reading and Didcot. Then we've got an Atkinson. I do like the Atkinsons because the front of them reminds me of the old Route Master buses from London. This one's Scott Trans and it's in a lovely orange and brown livery, I reckon. Well, I won't even call it a livery, I call it just like a colour scheme. Again, fifth wheel looks as though it's never been used. Gearbox at the back, air cleaner, the airlines. What else? Is this one running 3 tanks? No, it's running 2 tanks, I think. Yeah, it's running 2 tanks worth of air. Right, let's go on to the other side of things, which is this row. Here we've got a Leyland, which looks rather tall. I will say that. It's KB Coaches Classic Vintage Restoration. I'll tell you what, if they've restored this, take my hat off to them. The paintwork's amazing, all the pipe work's straight, and I think, looking at the fifth wheel, it does get used. So this is a working lorry. Obviously got 3 air tanks at the side, 2 12-volt batteries there to possibly make 24. And I think here's another one done by KB Coaches, a Ford. Restored in memory of Marvin E. Francis, rest in peace. And that one there, again, bloody amazing work. It's absolutely flawless. Got the air tanks. Obviously this one's a newer one than the Leyland, so you can see more of the plastics and stuff start to come in. That I believe is like a caravan hitch to go onto the fifth wheel. So yeah, again, that one looks bloody amazing. I like the red fuel cap. That does give it a nice bit of colour enhancement. Another one by KB Coaches. Bloody hell, they are knocking them up, and this one, in my eyes, is probably their best one. Just have a look at this. I believe this one's another Ford. Union Jack painted on the side. I'd love this to sit at the British border and just tow away everything that comes in illegally. But yeah, that one there, again, KB Coaches have outdone themselves on that one. That one, I love that. Twin stacks. Oh, you can see the catalytic converter there, comes in. Personally, if I was doing this is no offence to the coaches, I would have tried and routed that the exit to the exhaust roughly in the centre, so you've got equal amount of gases going up each stack. And guess what, we go on to another KB Coaches Ford, which looks bloody amazing again. This is just all in white this time, I think. It's just a plain lorry, but I'll tell you what, the catwalk there looks nice, stacks look amazing. And I think this one is an actual working lorry again. The fifth wheel looks as though it's had a bit of use, but that is awesome. I love the shine on the wheels. The amount of time and effort you can clearly be seen here paid off. Quite lovely. Right, moving on to an Ian Gordon lorry. Transcontinental 4435 Ford. Now these lorries here have got a really nice paint scheme to them. It's really eye-catching, especially with all this reflective chrome. You can see me. The stacks up there, and the fifth wheels on these don't get used. You can even see the guardrails, not a scratch. But I wouldn't like to put a lorry in this condition to work. If they left the factory like this, I don't think anyone would take it out, because bloody hell, that is amazing. Another Ian Gordon's, but this one's an MAN. Got the air horns, tones up top. That one there, again, bloody marvellous. Got a nice shiny tank. You can almost see me in it. Hello. This one doesn't have stacks. This one's got the underslung exhaust. Shiny fifth wheel cover. Obviously got the diamond checker plating. There's your catwalk. Oh, I love that. It's your fifth wheel release. Laser cut with MAN in it. That is nice. There's your exhaust. It's bloody huge. Definitely massive. Let's have a look on this one. Okay, when I thought the other one was tall, for perspective, that's eye level and I'm about 6 foot. Yeah. I'm 6 foot and my eyes only come up to this door handle. So yeah. Another one done by Ian Gordon. Obviously with the MAN fifth wheel release, which looks amazing. Never seen work. I love those air tanks. I wouldn't like to have a rear end crash with that because they'd all just go bang, bang, bang. Twin stacks. Oh, they've come all the way from Scotland there. That is bloody awesome. Right, moving on to something a little bit older. Seems though this is a vintage weekend. This one's another comma, so it's similar to that one, just this one's got the longer chassis. RTK, sorry. That is nice. Haulage contractor. This one looks as though it's been restored lovely, back to its roots. Tyre black doing its job there. Yeah, that looks absolutely amazing. RT Kedwell. This is the same kind of sheeting that Michael's got on the back of his Sutton's lorry. See, we're coming back round now, slowly but surely. These newer lorries I think I'll just flick by now, because we've seen pretty much a lot of them. Scania R440, CR series obviously. This one's not the V8 version, I believe. Everything's all nice and shiny on it, standard with these truck shows, I've come to find out. I've also found out that cans on the side of fuel tanks is quite common. Right, so after that one I said we'll come up this way. There's 3 lorries there, miscellaneous, so I'll do them when I come down and up again. So what we've got here, Scania 113. Now that I love. Looks nice and vintage. Looks as though it still do a day's work. Looks as though it still does a day work. Plenty in the tank. Looks as, yeah, it does look as though it still does a day's work. Yeah, that was. I do like the single stack on that. That's nice. Works light for the back. Rich Developments UK groundwork contracts. Quite nice. Richard Thomas and Sons International. This one's a Volvo called Samuel Charlie. That one's rather nice. A Mercedes. It's got V6 in it. Wow. That's nice. Newby's New Haven Mercedes. So we've got 2 of these types of Mercedes here, side by side. One is plain, one with lettering. So I'll go around the one with lettering because they're both the same. They're both 6. No, sorry, that one's got a more powerful engine and is still hissing. But yeah, I love the RDF green on the engine. That is lovely. Yeah, like I say, I'm not much in for lorries, so take what I say with a pinch of salt. That one also looks as though it's got a longer chassis to it, or it could just be the fact that it is parts a bit further back. Underslung exhaust. Absolute whopper of a diesel tank. Obviously, sleeper cabs on both. What we got here? Again, something I would have. Vulcan with the Perkins. Never go wrong with the Perkins. AFD on the side. Alan F. Dale, Highfield, Big in Buxton. A very tiny diesel tank that is now. Now that I've seen the others, that one's tiny. Speed 30 mile an hour. Bloody hell, imagine going up motorway with that. Be terrifying, wouldn't it? Again, the sign writing on this one is lovely. England, Wales and Scotland. From rust to riches, just seeing that is a really good word. Well, good saying, I should say. I think we've been through all them already. Now we're getting on to some of the newer lorries again, so I'll just flick by these if you all don't mind. RG Howlett. It's a nice daff or daffodil. East Coast Truckers. I love that. Norfolk, so probably one that Mr. Mancave knows. And Atkinson again. Bradbury's. Atkinson Borderer. These are quite common as well in the UK. Although there's not many about, they are quite common. And this one does get used. That is lovely. I love the boxes there for water and power steering as well. You see the back of the DAF there. What do we have next on the list of lorries? Here we've got a ERF E14. I don't think I want to try and pronounce that, but that is rather nice. 25th anniversary. Can't tell whether that's black or a deep red. Oh, on camera it's showing up as deep red, but in person it does look black. So there we are, single stack exhaust. Got to be an 8-inch diameter. That's my guess anyway. No, sorry, my measurement's wrong. I've got to say that's about 5-inch pipe. Built in Britain. Something you don't see these days anyway. Another one from Norfolk, and it's another Howlett one. Scania 133M. No, 113M. Obviously it's a sleeper cab. It's got the you see where the air flows through and it's just flat on the back. Again, really good chrome tanks. Fifth wheel. Looks like it does get used. I'd love to know how they keep the rails nice. East Coast Truckers Charity, delivering loads of fun to special children. Go and check them out. So, Vintage Transport, Norfolk. Now this one's nice, a 141. JJ Barlett, haulage contractors. With the V8, that's the badge you want to look for. Sleeper cab, I believe. It's got a nice wide deck on this one. It's got a dual axle with, I think it's mid-lift. I don't know. I think one of the axles lift on this one. I can't remember. Yeah, JJ Barnett Haulage Limited, Binley, Coventry. Here we come to a nice brand in my eyes. Foden. This one is looking lovely. I don't try to squeeze down that gap, but that looks to be 10-ton tipper Foden. Here we have a Bedford. I did have a model of these in the Pickford's livery, but I hated it because no matter where I put it, it was always in the way. Another Bedford tipper, 4-wheeler. Got another Volvo. I think I've said Volvo more times than I've had hot dinners today. It's going to be like a word that I say instinctly. Like, what's your name? Volvo. Anyway, RC Jeffrey & Sons. I believe this one's an AEC. I think. We've got some more Jeffrey & Sons. Yep, AEC. Mammoth Major. That is looking nice. This livery goes together so well. The blue and the deep red. If it was a lighter red, I would have thought Spider-Man. But no, this blue and deep red looks lovely. And they have got a lovely collection of Bedfords. And I think that's the kind of vehicle they like using, by the looks of things. Bedfords. Now that does look like the Vauxhall badge, weirdly. Another Bedford, looking nice. These are all skip lorries, if I'm right. There they are. That one's had a restoration. That's looking lovely. Warwickshire Waste, Bedford. Another Bedford there, that's had a restoration done to it. The people that do these restorations, is that proper sign writing? Yeah, that's all proper sign writing. All his contractors, is that sign written? Yep, that's been proper sign written. That's something I would love to learn to properly do. Sedan diesel with the sleeper on the back. More AECs, but yeah. I do apologise, I'm skipping through these now. It's getting late. I've been up since like 7 in the morning. It's now 11 at night. Lady Grace, AEC. Now this, out of these two, I'd rather have this one here because there's more eye sweets, if that makes sense. More things for your eyes to cling to. Got the shiny front rad, shiny badges, shiny bumpers. It's just, it looks nice. Obviously got the massive Scania R Series V8. Swedish Tina, A. Hingley. Some tones on the top. Scania 111. I've yet to see, what is it? Scania 144, I think. Oh, that one's based in Shropshire. That's nice. Oh, DV Williams seems to have a lot of lorries. No, they've got a mix. They've got Scania, they've got an ERF E14 and an Atkinson Borderer. This livery does look nice. It reminds me of Crouch with the orange. Volvo F12. What's here? Another Volvo. Another Volvo. And then let's throw an Albion into the mix. And then, I do like that, that's really nice actually. Let's have a closer look at this one. It's classic winding handle. Albion rad. Are we sign written? Just by looking at that I would say yes. Bedford with a knockoff Vauxhall badge it looks like. And a Scania flatbed. That does look lovely. Right, I think we've gone through all the ones at the bottom. But yeah, this is what it's like at Gaydon Vintage Truck Show. At night when there's no public about. It's absolutely nice. I'm going to go around and take photos of some lorries that I haven't included in this part of the video. But yeah, I think there's one more lorry I'd like to have a look around on video, and then we'll call it that, and then we'll go on to the photos. Right, I'll put you on when we're at the lorry. Alrighty then, here we are with the MAN Heavy Recovery. This thing is an 8-wheeler, and I love it. I know I've said I love the lorries a lot, but this one just takes the cake. This one will. If I ever become a billionaire, I would love to buy something like this. I know I'm not dull boy, I don't have a Rodney, but one day we will be billionaires. You know, that's blinding, isn't it? And look at the size of all the arms on this. I ain't gonna touch it, but that is just massive. Thick steel cable. Imagine what this thing could pull out a ditch. Massive orange beacon lights, works lights. McGovern. If you're wondering about the spec of the man, that's what it is. But yeah. Anyway, I'm going to move on to photos now. Thanks for watching to this point. I don't know whether I will film again on site. But yeah, I shall get on to photos now. Oh, there's loads down here. I can't use this one now because we're on public roads. That'll be all of them now, won't it?